Good evening and welcome to the Scott Movie Theater at Scott Sports HQ. So normally we'd imagine watching this film tonight in a movie theater with you, but since you can't go to the movie theaters in a lot of the world right now, we thought we'd bring the movie theater to you. So it's a pretty exciting project, Mount Logan, done by a couple of our strongest athletes. So before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about the vibe. So the goal was really, we said to one of our athletes, we want to tell a story about exploration and about freedom. And so he said, yeah, okay, I have an idea. And that's how we ended up where we are tonight. So before I get started, before I introduce the team, we'll play a little teaser to give you a feeling for the whole film.
Voilà, ça vaut tout l'or du monde. Ça vaut tout l'or du monde.
Le mont Logan, c'est une montagne gigantesque dans le golfe d'Alaska. C'est la deuxième plus haute montagne d'Amérique du Nord. Et en fait, la logique de cet endroit, c'était de partir de l'océan et redescendre à l'océan, tout en grimpant le mont Logan.
Tombe pas, hein. Ça va ?
Okay, so kind of an exciting teaser, huh? A little bit strange, a little bit funny, a little bit nuts. So let me introduce the guys to you now. So I'm joined here by Helias Millerioux, Thomas Delfino, and Alex Marchesseau. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So normally we'd be at a film festival somewhere, but instead it's just the four of us. Far more intimate, no? A little bit romantic, yeah?
Little bit. Only men. Yeah, but it's nice to make it happen. Thank you.
Yeah. Our pleasure, absolutely. So, a super cool story, and we're excited to share with you tonight. So let's go through and take some time to introduce you guys because maybe not everybody at home knows you. So we start with Helias. So Helias, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, hello everybody. To introduce me, I live in Chamonix. I'm mountain guide, and I'm a guy from that crazy expedition. And yes, simply we enjoy the mountain and climbing.
Yeah. So Helias plays it kind of cool, but actually the truth is you're kind of a badass when you look at the resume. So Helias won a Piolet d'Or 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So summited the south face, a new line on the south face of Nupsi. Former French alpinist team member. You're still French though, right?
No, it was in the past.
Yeah.
But I continue to climb. I don't forget to climb after that.
So also some experience, lots of experience in the Himalaya, in Pakistan. A lot of 8,000 meter peaks, some big ski descents. So
we in 2016 we climbed Nanga Parbat and we skied on.
Yeah, 7,800 meter ski descent.
Yeah, it was quite crazy.
Epic
because it was the highest place in my life from where I ski.
Yeah, pretty cool. So we're gonna tell another Helias story tonight. So let's move on. So Thomas, excuse me, Alex. Yeah, sorry. So So I have to kind of introduce the team here. We're not talking about a team of skiers or a team of snowboarders, right? We're really talking about a cross-cultural blend of snow sports enthusiasts, no? How do you fulfill that team?
I was really happy that they did accept me for this trip because I am the monoskier, so it's always the last tool you choose, apparently, for an expedition. But it was great for me to just try to stop the fight between all the slides. And because in history, snowboarders, skiers, monoskiers, there was always fighting.
You're really building the bridge, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a bridge,
So also with some legitimate mountain alpinism achievements as well. So super cool. And then finally, Thomas. Some of the audience knows you for sure, but maybe you introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, it's nice being here. Thank you. Well, I think I'm just crazy enough to follow Helias in his adventures. I'm a snowboarder, and I was in Pakistan with Helias for the filming of Zabardast, the movie. Some of you
Yeah,
might have watched
Super
it.
cool production by Picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very cool project. Nice.
And so yeah, when I was coming back from the glacier, Elias asked me if I wanted to join him on this crazy idea he had, starting from the ocean to summit Mount Logan and ride the East Ridge. Well, at the beginning, and I was not sure.
And at the end?
And well, when I came back home, I started to think about the project, and Helias introduced me to Alex and to Greg as well, who's not here. And I thought it was a great team to do this project together.
Super cool. So yeah, that's true. It's good to mention. There was a fourth member of the team. You should probably introduce him.
So yeah, Gregory Douillard. He was our river guide during this expedition, because it's from ocean to ocean.
Yeah.
Through the summit of Logan, and Greg had to bail during the expedition because of a back injury. He's not here tonight, but well,
I'm sure he's watching.
yeah, I'm sure as well. And we say hello to Greg.
Hi,
What's up, Greg?
Hello, Greg.
So we saw the teaser, but just a little bit about the project itself. So the objective was to ski Mount Logan, right? But I think it's maybe there's easier ways to get to Mount Logan, right? So what was the goal here?
The goal was it's a dream. It's a dream because of course in most part of the climbing place in Alaska you land on a glacier and then you climb, but it's a dream of 3 years. And it grew up very slowly because I have been many times in Alaska to climb, and usually you land on a glacier and then you climb technical route, and then you do your job and then you get back by plane. And because it's super wild. And one day I saw this river, Chitna River, and at that time a dream began to grow in my brain. And the logic.
Can you put your microphone a little bit closer? Yeah.
You hear me better? It's
Yeah.
better like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And the logic for that mountain climbing Logan, it's not so far from the ocean, and it's possible to go from the ocean by foot and to climb Mount Logan. And
so to do a whole loop, basically. So we're talking about a huge loop, ocean to ocean, with a massive peak in the middle of the expedition.
yeah,
Small project.
yeah, we can say it's small project. Mount Logan is the second highest peak in North America,
Okay.
and it's very massive.
Okay, yeah. So let's go forward. So we have a few social shots of the trip. I think clearly some highlights, huh? I tell you what. We'll put those on the screen so you can enjoy them at home, but we'll talk about those a little more later. In a preview of the trip, now you talk about the route. So here on the screen now we have really the whole route. So what's represented in blue was done on foot.
In blue, it's all the water trip.
Okay.
And as you can see on the map, we start from the right on the small village Yakutat, a very small village where there is not much people, a fisherman village.
Yeah.
And it's the place where Tlingit community natives from the area are from.
Okay.
And it's quite a very interesting place, like mystical.
Yeah.
Very wild.
Yeah.
Very well.
Surrounded by wilderness, like when we got there, some people from the stores were telling us stories about bears. Like they had to go in the street with shotgun and stuff to protect themselves. And yeah,
It's Alaska, huh?
Alaska.
It's not like the Alps, I guess. A little different.
Yeah.
So then, so if we take another look, here's an aerial
Wow.
shot to show a little bit the scale, huh?
So this is the Malaspina Glacier. It's
Okay.
actually the biggest glacier of this kind. Like I don't know the English word to say it, but this round shape, it's the biggest in the world. Like this.
Okay. In French?
C'est un glacier piémont, I think.
Okay.
C'est ça?
Pied
Ouais.
d'éléphant.
Pas d'éléphant. Ouais. Y a
Pancake glacier.
Pancake Glacier.
Pancake.
Yeah.
Je sais pas.
Piedmont Glacier. So yeah. Okay. And so then let's take a look here. So this was okay. So it's a long way to get to the objective. we have to
And
complete.
on the previous shot, we can actually see Mount Logan as well. If you can come
So
back
yeah,
a
go
little.
back.
So we see our route going behind this big mountain, and this is Mount Logan.
Okay. Okay. And that's only not even halfway, huh?
Yeah, well.
It took us 18 days to reach the bottom of Mount Logan.
18
Yeah,
days
from
to
the
get to the
ocean,
bottom of
from the
Mount
ocean.
Logan. So, and that's human powered, right?
Yeah.
That's not by train or.
We did plan for 8 days to reach the base camp, but because of the lack of snow, because of the bad weather, of the difficulty to find our way in the glacier, because we have to think that we just have to carry ourselves. We have to carry 80 kilograms each on a sledge. So we can't go anywhere on a glacier, So you
Yeah.
have to be sure that this way will be the good one with no crevasse and no problem.
Quite a mission. Okay, so then just to get already, I think I'm out of the expedition already. Just not even on the approach. I think I'm done. So then you guys get to base camp, and then this was the objective. So not the normal route, huh?
Yeah, the main idea was to climb Mount Logan, but we wanted to climb a very nice line.
Mm-hmm.
The name of that line is the East Ridge. It's a famous line to go to the top of Mount Logan. And if you can imagine, you are in Chamonix, where we live, and you climb a big ridge from the city to the top of Mont Blanc to make just
An idea.
an idea about the height of the climb. And even the idea, because we are monoskier, snowboarder, and skier, it's to ski that big ridge. And it was quite tough. I can say.
Okay. All right. So Elias, really, this is a bit of poetry here. Let's be honest, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just an athlete; you're also kind of a magician with words. I would say, huh?
Yeah, we can say that maybe.
So
I don't
really,
know.
one of your favorite expeditions, huh?
It's one of my favorite expeditions. I'm used to climb technical routes with ice axe, crampons, and big steep face in my alpinism career. And the dream was to do something different, more adventure, and going to exploring a new place and use the skis for that.
Okay. All right. I think we set the stage, huh? I think
we
they're
should watch the
ready.
movie.
It's a question if they're ready at home. Yeah? All right. Let's put it on, huh? And sit back, pour yourself like a nice glass of wine or a hot chocolate or whatever it is you're really enjoying these days at home, and let us entertain you.
là les gars. On y est. Sommet du mont Logan. On n'a pas la vue, mais on a la joie. Le bonheur.
Le mont Logan, c'est une montagne gigantesque dans le golfe d'Alaska. C'est la deuxième plus haute montagne d'Amérique du Nord. Personne n'avait ridé l'Ice Ridge, et nous on voulait le faire. C'est une grande arête qui fait 3800 mètres de dénivelé depuis le camp de base jusqu'au sommet. Et en fait, la logique de cet endroit, c'était de partir de l'océan et redescendre à l'océan, tout en grimpant le mont Logan. Il y avait une très grosse difficulté, c'était de transporter 40 jours d'autonomie avec nous. Il faut savoir qu'en 2019, en Alaska, ça a été un hiver très sec, où il n'y avait pas beaucoup de neige.
Tombe pas, hein.
Comme on ne pouvait pas utiliser les luges, on a marché et on a fait des allers-retours sur le glacier. On avançait de 5 km par jour. On avait jusqu'à 40 kg chacun de matériel sur le dos. L'éloge de la lenteur commence.
Ok. Jour 2. Là il est 9h15, on commence à marcher. On a mis du temps à se mettre en route, mais c'est le début, c'est normal.
Ça va? Ça va?
Au bout de 3 jours très difficiles, on arrive à la glace et là c'est une libération. On peut enfin tirer nos luges.
T'es heureux, non?
On est sur Malaspina, on avance avec nos skis et il fait mauvais pendant 5 jours. Il pleut.
Ambiance humide aujourd'hui.
On passe nos journées mouillées, on a les pieds mouillés, les chaussures de ski mouillées. Et c'est juste très difficile mentalement. L'expédition a failli s'arrêter à cet endroit-là. À chaque fois qu'on gagnait de la confiance, on avait une surprise qui nous tombait dessus et qui nous mettait des bâtons dans les roues. Et là, une chose nous saute aux yeux, il va falloir sortir du glacier, franchir un col pour éviter l'icefall.
L'arrivée au col!
Première distance.
La motivation revient, on a gagné de la distance. On avance vers le Mont Logan, vers notre objectif. Ce soir-là, on pose le camp, on entend une avalanche descendre, on voit l'ours, le fameux. C'était la sortie de l'hibernation. Il avait faim. On était préparés, on en avait beaucoup parlé. L'ours, on est sur son territoire, il va falloir qu'on vive avec.
Et les cailloux qui nous tombent sur la gueule à droite et des crevasses à gauche. On va finir certainement de nuit. Enfin, c'est pas certainement, c'est sûr, on va finir de nuit. Voilà. Je pense qu'on va être tranquille.
On voyait la fin de ce glacier compliqué. Mais en fait, on s'aperçoit que dans notre timing, on est complètement faux. On a mis 16 jours pour aller au pied de l'Ice Ridge et on en avait prévu 8.
Oh cool! Bien content d'être là, enfin, au bout de 16 jours. 16 jours, assez éprouvant finalement.
Ouais, Yann, je suis désolé, ça a coupé le satellite. En fait, on va partir pour 10 jours dessus. Tu nous confirmes un créneau de beau temps au moins jusqu'à mardi, mercredi, quoi.
Oui, il y a un créneau pour profiter.
Ok. C'est génial. On part, on se dit, on va monter très doucement en s'acclimatant sur la montagne. Très rapidement, la météo tourne au mauvais sur la rétresse du mont Logan. La tempête, elle vient, c'est pas grave, on attend dans l'igloo, mais on s'acclimate. L'éloge de la lenteur, c'était se faire coincer dans le mauvais temps pour mieux avancer. On va essayer d'aller au point le plus haut qu'on peut atteindre. S'il se met à faire beau, et ben on essaye le sommet. Allô Yann, salut, c'est Helias. Notre routeur de météo nous annonce beau temps pour 2 jours. À ce moment-là, on dit on y va. On a 4300 mètres et ce soir on vise les 5003. Pas facile du tout, c'est bien dur, malgré la beauté des lieux.
Voilà. Ça vaut tout l'or du monde. Ça vaut tout l'or du monde. Ça vaut tout l'or.
Camp 4, 5400 mètres. Non, c'est une grosse journée aujourd'hui. Demain, on tente un sommet et on se casse. Ça dépendra de la visibilité. «
8h15, on a un petit peu de soleil. On va essayer d'y aller. »
Et on fera toute l'ascension du sommet dans le brouillard et au GPS. Le 7e jour, on arrive au sommet. On est sec de chez sec.
Trop dur.
On n'a pas fini l'expédition. À ce moment-là, quand on est au sommet, il faut redescendre, quoi. En monoski, en snowboard, à ski, fallait skier cette East Ridge.
Allez, on descend.
La plus grande descente de notre vie. On fait la première partie, c'est-à-dire qu'on skie la grande calotte. Il y a eu tellement de vent, ça a enlevé toute la neige. On se retrouve à skier avec des crêtes de coque, des émergences de plaques de glace à des endroits où c'est vraiment délicat. Il y a les 2 knife ridge qui sont glacés, clairement inskiables avec les sacs qu'on avait. Je crois que c'est là qu'il faut déchausser. Ambiance East Ridge.
Ça va?
C'est une descente tellement longue qu'on peut pas la descendre en une journée.
Pas besoin de sortir la tente, on est au chaud, ça fait plaisir, on vient de manger et on va aller se coucher.
Le lendemain, on chausse les skis, on descend une grande partie de l'Ice Ridge et on s'échappe par un couloir.
Là en 5 minutes on est en bas, on claque le rappel, on se casse. C'est bleu hein. Ouais c'est béton là. Sois toujours vigilant au-dessus de toi. Parce que les pierres, quand elles roulent sur la neige, on les entend pas.
Ah, j'adore quand tu chantes comme ça.
Yeah bro! It's done!
Au bout de 2 jours et demi de descente, on se retrouve en bas sur le glacier, le gros du morceau fait.
9 9 jours. Allez, 9 jours. 9 jours, mon gars.
On retrouve Greg au camp de base et en fait il nous annonce que pour lui l'expédition elle pourra pas aller jusqu'au bout parce qu'il a trop mal au dos. On appelle les secours et on organise une évacuation qu'il puisse rentrer à bon port. On commence à voir le chemin parcouru qu'on a derrière nous et on n'en revient pas. On est parti de l'océan, on a remonté les glaciers pendant plus de 100 km jusqu'au camp de base du mont Logan. On a skié la montagne, et ben là c'est un des plus beaux moments de notre vie je pense.
Un snowboarder de haute altitude.
On continue, on traverse ces derniers glaciers. Et là, un gros noyau se présente à nous, c'est les moraines du glacier du mont Logan. Et il y a 30 km à parcourir à vol d'oiseau. On mène nos charges sur le dos.
On a l'air beau là.
On prend notre mal en patience et on parcourt ces 30 km pendant 5 jours.
C'est trop beau!
Et là, on commence à sentir la nature et ça, c'était une libération. Les premières odeurs, l'herbe, les arbres. On est dans une transe où on est bien, on est fatigué, mais on s'arrête pas en fait et on avance, on avance. Il y a des traces d'ours devant nous, mais les ours, en fait, on est leurs amis. On va vers la rivière, mais Greg, qui est le spécialiste de l'eau vive, eh ben, il n'est plus avec nous. Et là, Thomas, il nous dit, on n'a pas d'expérience en rivière. L'expédition, pour moi, elle s'arrête ici. Il y a un avion qui arrive demain. Moi, je prends cet avion, je m'en vais. Donc, avec Alexandre Marchesseau, on se regarde dans le blanc des yeux. Et là, on doit descendre cette rivière. Avec toutes les difficultés qu'on a endurées, ça vaut la peine d'essayer.
Yalla! Jus principal entre les deux îlots là.
La rivière, c'était le meilleur moment de l'expédition.
Allez!
On était bien parce qu'on portait plus des sacs à dos. On coulait avec l'eau. C'était une expédition complètement différente, qui a été peut-être l'une des plus dures que j'ai jamais fait, où on allait au bout de nos limites physiques. Et en fait, le plus important, c'était le prétexte. C'était le prétexte à vivre une belle aventure entre copains. J'ai jamais vu des choses aussi belles, des paysages aussi beaux, j'ai jamais vécu des aventures aussi fortes avec mes camarades. À ce moment-là, on rêverait de continuer jusque dans l'océan Pacifique et qu'un bateau nous prenne et qu'on parte et qu'on aille faire une autre aventure.
Okay, so
Yeah!
Hey.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed, guys.
Fantastic story. Really cool trip. For those of you at home watching, we saw that the quality was not great. We apologize for that. I cannot explain the internet, unfortunately. So we'll upload the full HD, and you can watch it again later. It's worth rewatching. I think every time I see it, I notice something new. So pretty cool trip. So yeah, can we talk? I mean, there's just so much suffering, but there's so much joy. How do you remember the trip overall? Good or bad?
No, super good.
Greatest experience of my life. Seriously, guys.
Yeah, it
our
is.
life.
Sure.
Okay, so Alex, what was the high point for you?
7-1.
7-1, the summit.
Yeah. In my life, you mean?
No. What was the high point of the trip? The most, yeah.
It was probably the last day when we were in the fog on the upper plateau, just before reaching the summit. We were not sure with the weather, so we were just say, okay, let's go, and we did all the way on the GPS, in fact. And I remember I was ski touring on the glacier, and I was alone. There was nobody. I was just hearing Helias yelling at me, "Alex, where are you? We don't see you." And because I remember I was in a state of mind that I was so far in my mind that I was think I was alone on the mountain, but now I had friends. That was good.
Incredible.
Best moment.
Yeah, I'd say my high point of the trip was this day as well. Like, you know, it was our 7th day in a row on the mountain. We were pretty tired by the altitude and stuff, and this day it was all fogged up, and we couldn't even see the summit except for maybe 1 minute. You remember? We ended up in the col in the pass just before the summit, and for 1 minute we were like going nuts, not knowing where we were going. Helias had to take off the GPS to know where we were going, and for that 1 minute we were able to see the summit. Like, just like if something was showing us the way, you know, like, hey guys, you're here to go there. And when we ended up in the summit, it was pure joy, explosion of joy. It was great.
Yeah, pure joy. But there was one thing that we
Alex, bring the mic a little closer.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
So
Just
we were thinking that we were able to see all the path from the summit, all the path from the ocean to the mountain. So we were talking a lot about this. But then when we were at the top, it was completely foggy around us, so we didn't get the chance to see that.
Yeah, but even without the view, I mean,
No,
I didn't expect to feel that much intensity of joy, and it was crazy.
In the summit, it was completely crazy. That feeling we are all crying and taking us in the arms, and it was so much power and energy and feelings after so much tough days.
Yeah, so much work.
It was so much work, so much stuff, and when you are at the top, you have this feeling of wow. You feel light, very light. I remember.
Light for a moment, but then you have to, and you say it in the movie, that then you have to think that we have to go down.
Go down.
And for us as a rider, it's we are here to ski down. In fact, so that was just the half of the trip.
Yeah, incredible. We have a few questions actually. So, when are you guys going back to Alaska? That's the first question.
Good question.
All right, when are we going back to Alaska, guys?
As soon as possible, no?
Yeah.
It was a good party in Alaska in the roller. You remember?
Oh yeah, the roller arena.
Roller party when we
Anchorage.
begin
And karaoke.
Karaoke and some chartreuse.
That's a
for
different
mountains.
video.
For mountains, guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Thomas, for you, how does it compare to Zavardast? Was the question.
One more level,
Yeah?
I'd say. You know, like Zavardast, it's actually completely different. I imagine all the trip, and I gathered the crew, and we made it happen in Pakistan to go to ride this Biachari tower. I didn't go to the top, but I was enjoying my friends skiing it. Like Leo killed the face, like ripped it, and it was a lot of joy as well. And I thought it was the best experience of my life. But after Logan, now I know that Logan is the best experience of my life, because it was really deeper, wilder. Just four guys, 4 friends, unsupported. A small crew without all the big logistic which is behind Zabardast, you know.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
Okay, so let's go into that because we actually have a few questions from the audience. So the first one is really about what was in the sleds. So you talked about 80 kilos. So what are you carrying? What are the essentials here?
food.
Mostly food, and
I think half of the package was for food.
yeah,
I think
because at the end we finished the expedition. We have
Closer.
at the end of the expedition when we were working on the moraines, we have 30 kgs, and at start we have 80.
So you had basically you ate 50 kgs of your sled.
And it was fuel.
Yeah, fuel as well.
Fuel as well.
Some footage of the movie. You see us carrying those big red barrels. I don't know how you call it, jar. Like they're full of fuel, like 20 kilos of gas, carrying over the moraines. Like,
Okay, so the trip, it took longer than you expected. So the other question that came from the audience was, how do you manage when you're only carrying the essentials, and then the trip takes longer? How do you manage?
Just a correction.
Yeah.
The trip was shorter than we expect.
Shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was twice longer on the approach to the base
Put
camp.
the mic. Sorry.
It was twice longer on the approach,
Just bend it a little closer to your mouth.
like
Yeah,
this.
Like this.
Okay, so twice longer
Yeah.
at the beginning. But then, when we went back to the base camp to reach the Chitna River, we were very fast, pretty fast,
So, yeah.
because we were acclimatized.
Okay.
So we were walking about 25 kilometers per day. Then it was shorter on the moraine, but we managed to take back all the days we lost on the
and
approach.
also on the climbing and riding, we
Yeah.
were scheduling like 2 weeks maybe
Yeah.
to stay at the base camp, and it took us 10 days.
Yeah.
Like 9 days up and down, 1 day of rest, and then back on the road.
That's it. Yeah.
So the approach took us longer, but then
So you kind of caught up at the
Yeah.
end. But does that make you real nervous in the middle, where you're thinking like, what the hell do we do here, guys?
yeah, we started with 45 days of food.
Yeah.
So we had to do it
In
to
45
the
days.
to the raft point, to where the plane was bringing us the raft and the food reload. We had to do it in 45 days. Anyway,
And it was very, to finish, it was very stressful. I remember at the start when we saw that we were very more longer in the approach. We discuss, all of us, and we say, what we do, maybe if we are too slow,
We have to reschedule the plane.
yeah, exactly.
We were talking about it after maybe 2 hours on the glacier. Okay, maybe we won't be at the meeting point on the day.
So we just started, but maybe we're gonna be late.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the travel to Logan created a lot of delays and stuff. So this was clearly one of the crux. Tell us about this first crux.
yeah, first crux.
Yeah,
well,
first crux. But the first crux was on the first day, at the first minute, when the boat let us on this beach.
yeah.
We were thinking that in April in Alaska there is snow till the ocean, but global
was no
warming,
snow.
come on, and it was 20 degrees, completely dry, no snow at all, and we had to carry all this shit with us.
So we
it's
saw a lot of footage of you walking with the
Yeah.
sled on your back.
so we had to split all the stuff in 2 pieces because we can't carry 80 kg per person. So we have to carry 40 and 40. So first bag was 40 kilo. We did 5 kilometers on the moraine, put it down, walk back, take the second bag, and go back. So on the paper, we were just doing 5 kilometers a day, but in reality, it was 15 a day. And this for 3 days till we managed to reach the first patch of snow.
Yeah, and then it got easier when we reached the glacier because we were able to put everything on the sled and moving on finally, like easily. But we ended up at this crook section of the kind of ice fall of the Seward Glacier where it meets the Malaspina Glacier. It's a maze of ice, of crevasses and stuff, and we spent 3 days looking for the way.
Yeah, it was very tough because we expected when we prepare the trip, we watch the photos and on Google Earth and everything, and we say, "Oh, let's go inside the glacier and we will find the route." Like we are super
Yeah,
confident, very confident, and just
Too confident?
too much, completely too much. Because we are arrogant. We say we are guys from mountain. We have a lot of experience, expedition, Pakistan, Chamonix Glacier. You are like arrogant, and at the end you are fucked up. And maybe the expedition will stop here. And I remember that day. It was a few days of lot of rain on the glacier, and we were completely wet inside everybody, and everywhere. And we go to recognize the glacier, and we spend 1 full days. I remember crossing the crevasse. At one time we stop and we climb on a pinnacle of ice, and we check around us, and we just saw around us kilometers of pinnacles and ice crevasses.
Maze of seracs.
Yeah, impossible.
And
to
impossible
navigate.
with sledges.
On top of that, that's also the first day
Yeah.
where we've seen the bear tracks all around our tents and
Okay,
our
so what's up
food.
with the bear?
What's up with the bear, man? You're in the middle of nowhere. You know there is bear because people in Yakutat were warning us. You know, like, yeah, you should take a shotgun, and there are some crazy bears in the glaciers, and we were like, yeah, we're French people. They don't like us.
But guys, you don't
end
have
up-
guns.
yeah,
You go in the bush. You don't have guns. You're fucking crazy, man.
But you end up finding bear tracks all over your camp, and you start to stress out. You know, like, well, we have 40 days of food, but if the bear eats the food, it's not especially about us because we were together, you know, and I think as a loud, stinky Frenchman, we were okay. But
Not so tasty.
yeah, but with the food we were carrying, if the bear eats the food, it's over for us.
Then we are fucked. Yeah. But tell us what you've done. With the what was your technique, Thomas? Tell us.
So I was particularly stressing out about the bears, and I was texting some friends we met in Yakutat to get some advices. And this guy is the owner of Yakutat Surf Shop. He told us, like, yeah, you should pee everywhere, and you should pee on your socks and put it on a pole. So I took a snow probe, took my socks, peed all over my socks, and put it on the top of the probes to say, "Hey, here we are."
I hope that guy is watching now.
And you know what's the best? After he put his socks on his feet.
Super funny. So I mean, yeah, wow. So that was just getting to the first crux, huh?
Yeah.
Was there? I mean, afterwards, then we arrived, let's say, at the mountain, right? And so let's talk about the route, because I think this is where the Alpinist story is very cool, and this is, you know, this kind of a ski descent at Scott. This is what we're into. So
The history of Mount Logan is a very classic alpinism route in Canada, and so most of the people they fly to the base camp, and they come with the planes. They put the base camp, and then they climb it in 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 days. I don't know. But we were very light, so we had to think about the plan. So after 2 days resting and preparing the stuff with the food and everything, we decided to go. Even if the plan with the weather was not so good, we say, okay, let's go acclimatize. We will climb slowly and try to find a way. And so the first day we reached the altitude of 3,300, something like this.
Oh, the first camp?
Yeah, the first camp.
Yeah, something like this.
And when we reached this, we saw an ice cave. So we said, oh, cool, there is an ice cave, so let's go in. And it was super comfortable because we were planning to do it with a small, very light mountain tent. It was 2 places for 3 people. So we were ready to
cozy.
be... Yeah, very cozy.
Wet.
And
pea
this
socks.
day at Camp 1 in the igloo, we heard some voices, and it was those Canadian guides coming down because they didn't see any window for the weather. So they went down to the base camp, and we said, okay, let's try it. And thanks to them, we managed to do the summit because we never thought before that to dig any snow cave. And because it took us 7 days to reach the summit with 2 days of bad weather, where we stayed in the ice cave. So thanks to that, we managed to reach the summit. Thanks.
Yeah, it helped us a lot.
Yes,
like
because with the
digging
tent,
those caves
would not be possible.
It was so comfortable. You know, like, all right, it's a bit of work. Like, it took us like 3 hours, 2-3 hours to build the caves above this first camp. But then once you're done, you can really rest. You dry up more than a regular tent, and you don't hear anything about the wind or the bad weather outside, and you can sleep like a baby in the snow cave. It's great.
Yeah. And we can say c'était, comment on dit l'éloge en anglais?
Ooh.
Pray for slowness.
We were very slow.
Yeah,
And why we did this summit is because we were very slow. And if we wanted to go fast, it was impossible for us to go to that summit because first we were not acclimatized, and in that high altitude you are obligated to climb. If you are not acclimatized, to climb very slowly, no more than 500 meters per day.
You remember the plan was 500 meter per day, but after camp 3, we did 1,100 meter.
Yeah.
So
Obligated but not obligated.
We were obligated, but at one point we were already a little bit acclimatized because we were slowly to go there. And but what is special in Alaska, and especially in that part of the globe, because in the world, because there is the worst weather forecast here.
When you say the worst, it's the least accurate, huh? Or you
Accurate, c'est quoi?
yeah, c'est le moins juste. It's really hard to predict, and also that's where it's not sunny at all.
When we were at the base camp, every time when we watch Mount Logan, you watch all the mountain all around, and there is some blue sky somewhere, some clouds, but it's okay. And on Mount Logan, there's most part of the time a big cloud on the top, and like completely bad weather forecast.
So were you guys alone on Mount Logan?
So yeah, beside this first crew we met on our first day hiking the ridge at Camp 1, we were alone because those guys were they just went to Camp 2 and decided to turn around because they had no weather window for them. And when we met them, they told us like, yeah guys, you should turn around, and we were like, no, we have 9 days of food, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And after that we were alone.
And I think we were completely weird guys at that time. like
They were locals, huh?
very locals, like animals, you know.
It was a bit stressful because we are not locals. We don't know the weather. After 20 days under the rain, you say, okay, this is a really shitty place. And so when you have 2 Canadian guys, they've been to the summit already, and a little bit closer, and they tell us that for them there is no window. You say you want to trust them because they know the place, they got the experience and everything. But because we were on the ridge, we knew that even with a big storm, it was not so dangerous. If it was in a big slope with snow, risk of avalanche and everything, we would not have done it. But because we were on the ridge, say, okay, it's safe. Let's keep on going.
Yeah, you remember just before Camp 3 when you had snow all the way up to the sky. It was loaded. The mountain was loaded, and we had to stop at this point because it was too much snow on the mountain, and it was so bad for us because on the way up the snow quality was perfect, so much powder, like it was so hard to get moving. But on the way down, with all the wind, it was so hard.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So you get to the summit. So how's the descent? So it was windy.
The descent. It was the worst ski descent in our life, maybe. No, it's a joke. No, I think it's the biggest descent of our life. I think for all of us, sure. Because it's almost 4,000 meters ski down. And but we were so happy when we climbed up because it was so good condition, and during the climb, the condition changed a lot. Yeah. You have the bottom, the lower of the route is full of sun, and it was completely crusty when we skied on. And on the top, because there was too much wind, it was a lot of muggles and wind waves on the snow.
Sastrugi.
Yeah, Sastrugi, yeah. And it was like not so funny to ski.
Yeah, and the snowpack was pretty hard with all those wind crests. It was pretty hard to manage, like in the steepest part, like at one point after the summit plateau, when it gets steep again, it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard, and with the fog and the wind, there is all this atmosphere.
It was cold.
And
with the heavy packs, heavy backpacks.
That's something hard.
So
it took us 3 days to go.
It's not a normal ski backpack, huh? How much was the backpack?
Oh, for the ascent and the way down? I don't know, maybe.
For ski down?
I have no idea.
I think
we had 10 days of food, like 9 days of food, plus we had what, 2 ropes?
One
Ropes.
rope,
1 rope,
climbing gears, stuff.
climbing gear.
I think
front one.
it's a minimal 15 kg when
Yeah.
we ski down.
Minimum.
Minimum 15 kg minimum. Not 20. 20 is a lot.
No,
No,
20 is
20
big, huh?
Yeah.
But then, you know, like we were, I was having breakfast before the expedition. I was having breakfast every day with a big picture of Mount Logan in front of me, you know, and I was looking at studying the mountain in all these details, and we were seeing this couloir at the end, and I was like, wow, that will be so sick if we can ride this couloir at the end. And after our first day riding down, we slept into our camp 2 because we wanted to wait for the next morning to go down because of the rock fall and all that. And we were like, okay, we should go have a look at the couloir now. And yeah, we went to check the conditions, and the day after we made it to the couloir. You remember?
Yeah. It was quite
Yeah.
sketchy.
It was hard. We were very
Completely
early in the
sketchy.
morning, and the snow was completely ice. The last day, the third day, I didn't put my monoski. I just climbed down.
Down. Okay.
Like, okay, now it's too exposed for me. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Wow. Incredible.
And
So
that was weird because the couloir we were aiming at is full south exposure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because it's so far up north, Alaska, at this time of the year, south face in the morning doesn't get light at all
Yeah.
because the sun is too much north.
So, one question is, how do you guys keep a positive attitude? Do you have any rituals or anything to keep you going?
Ah, yes.
When we look at this
Glitter.
slide,
Glitter.
it's clear.
Glitter.
Glitter.
Glitter faces.
Really?
Glitter.
Because
No, please.
I think
sorry.
on
Maybe this is
40
lost in
days.
translation, huh?
Yes.
You're gonna have to explain.
For 40 days of expedition, I think we had 20 days of bad weather. So at a point with Helias, we had a party just before leaving, correct, where we met those girls who offered us some glitter. The blue and the golden one. And after several days of bad weather, with Helias, said, okay, maybe if we are pretty, the weather will also be pretty with us. So that's why we decided to put the glitter on our faces every morning.
And on my side, I decided to save the glitters for the summit day. You know, like I would not put the glitters on my face until it's summit day.
But you remember, every day we put glitter, it was a very good day.
Always.
No, but
So another question from the viewers: what kind of underwear are you guys wearing today?
Today,
C'est quoi la question?
today, what kind of underwear?
Me? You want to see this?
No,
For
but
sure? Yes.
Oh, please, yes.
No way!
I get it, guys. Get it?
I mean,
This was my only underwear for all the trip. But since that, I washed
I
it.
just hope
Don't worry, don't worry.
they're clean today.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, I mean, here we go through some images. I mean, really, it's a stunning trip and a stunning story. But the truth is that you guys you started as 4, but we didn't finish as 4. So where did you guys lose the first team member?
So Greg, before the trip, Greg had already some problems in his back, and he got some surgery and stuff. But we decided he was ready to come with us, and he thought he was ready as well. He did a lot of preparation to come with us, and like carrying, doing the first loads, like when we were not on ice, doing the 40 kilograms loads round trip. I think this was already hard. And then when we get to the ice, we wanted to keep the good rhythm, even if we had some days where we were looking our way. Then we knew we were late, and we had to push hard to go to the base camp in time, or at least not too late. And I think it was pretty hard for the bodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, Greg didn't join us on the mountain, and he stayed at base camp. And when we came back from the mountain, he told us that it was not possible for him to keep going.
Yeah.
Because he had some really bad pain in his back, and it was kind of dangerous for his health.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think at some point on a trip like this, you need to make the call if it goes or if it doesn't go.
So,
And sometimes the smart choice is to kind of take it easy.
At this point, we were still on the big snow glacier, really flat, so it was possible with a plane to land on it. After that, on the moraine, it was much more difficult for a plane to come.
Okay, so at this point at base camp, the plane flew in, picked up Greg.
Yeah.
So
and it was not a urgent case, like he had not a broken leg or anything like this, really urgent. So we had time to organize the evacuation for Greg. So we just sat down for a day and took the day to organize everything. And with the help of the Canadian operation, which is landing, bringing people to climb Logan, we were able to
get him out.
Greg, safe again.
And so it's important to remind the guys watching that Greg was the river guide.
Yeah.
So everybody had a bit of a role in this trip, and clearly Greg's role was coming at the end. So losing Greg meant you lost a bit of your river expertise as well.
Yeah.
So tricky situation. So another question from the audience is, how did you guys manage the filming? Because already, I have to be honest, I mean, just to survive the trip alone is a challenge. But then to try and document it and capture all the moments, hard, easy, everything, it's not small. It's not a small project, huh?
So to be honest, we didn't find €1 for the trip. So doing a film was not our first goal in this trip. Okay. Then we managed. Okay. Then we managed to get some cameras and stuff, and Thomas decided to buy a drone, and so thanks to that, we were just shooting like this, but as amateur, we were not really. We wanted to document our expedition, but the point was not to make a movie. And then when we came back, we realized that we had some more than 10 hours of footages, and sometimes it was really interesting what happened in the snow caves.
Yeah, I think it was more a buddy trip that Helias had in mind for a while, and we made it happen. And with the technology today, it's easy to bring a tiny camera, a GoPro, even a good camera, which is not taking much place in our pack compared to all the food we had to carry. And even the drones nowadays, like, they're small enough to bring on such expedition. So we decided to go as a buddy trip, film the trip, and see what happened next.
What was the toughest thing was to charge all the devices and But
how did you charge them?
We had 2 solar panel.
PowerTech.
Yeah, from PowerTech.
PowerTech solar panel, very good, and with 2 battery. Yeah. And we can charge all our devices for 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, it was not a filming trip, but all of us have GoPro, and it was quite easy because when you have 4 footage.
Yeah. Cool. So another question from the audience is, so if you were to do a trip like this somewhere else in the world, where would you do it? What's the next objective?
It's funny because we were kind of talking about it earlier. It's hard to find a place like this. It's Alaska, it's unique.
Pretty special.
Even if Alaska is big, finding an idea like Helias had, from ocean to almost 6,000 meters and back to ocean, it's not everywhere in the world.
I can say it's the most important is to have the logical trip, something was
idea.
sense.
Yeah.
If you don't have it doesn't have sense, it's not interesting to do it. And Logan was very interesting because it's close to the ocean and you can do it like that. Maybe if we go to Patagonia one day, maybe we must use horses to access to the mountain or something like that.
Well, I on my side, I've been looking a lot on mountains still in the Wrangles in Alaska, like St. Elias,
Yeah.
like Mount Fairweather, which is really close to the ocean, and it will be really insane to make a boat approach to climb those peaks.
But after where to go is the question, but how to go to the mountain, I think, is the new question.
Yeah.
The time of expedition where you pay an agency to go to the base camps and you do your trip, you come back. There is no talking, no meeting with locals and stuff. I think it's something from another time. Now we have to think more about reinventing the adventure and pushing the limit in other way of thinking, like different kind of tools for such a big trip like the Logan.
It's not just about getting to the summit and skiing
No,
down.
no.
It's
not
far
like
more
how
than
you
that.
get to the place, you know.
Yeah, the whole adventure is the
Yeah.
achievement, really.
And as you can see in the movie, the summit is not the main objective. The summit is just a step in the expedition, you know.
Sure. So Lorraine Huber was asking a question, actually, Thomas. So to go back, so we were talking about the team. So we started as 4, then we were down to 3, and then finally you get to the river.
Yeah.
And then at the river, Tom, you made a decision here. What was that?
So yeah, after submitting Logan, letting Greg go, and we had to keep going on the glacier. We were really fast. We were doing a lot of kilometers a day, and it was great to feel fast again. And we were getting lighter and lighter as we were going on. But then we reached the moraines again, and we had to carry all our gear through 4 or 5 days of tremendous terrain, like very hard moraines up and down. We had to take the drone out to find the best way to go, you know, because it's another maze. It's not made of ice. It's made of rock and dirt and rivers that we had to cross. It was insane, but it took us a lot of energy again. And when we finally get to Hubert's Landing, actually I took the decision a couple days earlier. But when we get to Hubert's Landing, the point where the pack raft were supposed to be
kind of waiting for you.
Yeah, waiting for us. We were exhausted, like really tired after those 37 days of expedition already. And so a few days earlier, I was in contact with the girl who was supposed to drop us the raft from Wrangell Mountain Air in McCarthy. And she told us that the rivers were furious for the year. I remember the message, you know, like the rivers are pretty big and furious for this time of year around McCarthy. And I was like, what do you mean, like furious? And she kept going on. I know that Greg is not coming with you anymore. Be careful, guys. And I was like, man, we already did so much, like. And on kind of terrain that we know, crevasses, we can manage, we have some knowledge, you know, but the river, I've never get in that boat before. And I never get into a river before in France. Like, my only experience was a chill ride on a tiny boat, you know. You want me to go for 300 kilometers on one of the biggest river in North America?
Furious conditions.
In furious conditions. I was like, wait a second, what am I doing here? And I decided to take the easy way out with the plane, bringing us the raft. You know, I just took the plane.
But to be honest, I completely understand your decision. If it was not during a trip like this, at this time of exhausting, I would have took the same decision as you. But we were so deep in the experience. We were like animals.
We were animals after.
We were like animals. At this point, your brain is like a choucroute. You know, it's completely mixed up, and so you think you are more about the feeling. And for me and Helias, we talked a bit after the Thomas decision, and we say, okay, for us, there is no warning like this. We got the feeling, we got the the feeling of the way down. We follow the stream, and we will see what happened. And yes, that was the good part, the easy part of the trip, I think.
I think all that expedition was super tough because every day we take very strong decision.
Yeah.
Every day it was like, you take a decision, it's like, if I take, you have two options, and you take one, it's maybe the wrong one. And if you take the other one, it's maybe the good one. And it makes our brain like very, very complicated and very tired, I think. And
Mentally tiring.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to keep mentally fit, like.
Absolutely.
And that's why I understand, as you said, Alex, it was like at the end, your brain is like completely melting, and you don't know.
Yeah, and also when I took this decision, it was kind of the end of the moraine. We were kind of finding our way finally to the Hubert's Landing, to the hut. And you remember this peaceful night we had?
Yeah.
It was so
The
good.
hut, yeah.
It was so good.
I was upset against you.
Oh.
Not upset, but
All
sad.
the hard part was
Very
behind
sad.
us.
I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of stories on a trip like this, huh? We could be here all night, I think.
Yeah.
But tell us about what it's like then to come back from a trip like this. And if I go back actually one slide, you have a photo of Helias there eating what is maybe your first meal back in civilization, huh?
Yeah.
How does it feel to return from something like this?
It's completely strange. I will tell you what we did first when we come back from the expedition. We arrived in Cordova. We were completely dirty with Alexandre. Completely dirty, and we put our stuff in that small Airbnb, and we say, let's go have a beer. And
Was this the first beer?
the first beer.
So the
No.
No, we had some
the
in
boat-
Hubert's Landing.
the boat guy dropped you some beers?
Yeah. But you have met nobody. No, you are like completely skinny, and you go and then just enjoy the life.
You look kind of chubby in the photo, though, I have to say.
And you got chubby,
Chubby.
but it was not the
Yeah,
first
because
lunch.
we have to say that we did eat, I think it was 475 portions of dry
Freeze-dried food.
freeze-dried
So
food.
475 freeze-dried meals. So
Yes.
add water and it comes back to life.
So
So
if you
the
tried
trip
it, you know what it means.
Yeah, the trip was made out of freeze-dried, except for lunches. That we had those big pieces of cheese that we bought at Costco, a big chain in the US.
This is where all food comes in extra, extra large.
Yeah.
Just for those of you that don't know.
And that's it. Freeze-dried, cheese, some beef jerky as well.
Beef jerky, yeah. But at the end of the trip, with this food, we had some really pain. We had really pain on the stomach, and also, I think the human body is not made to eat this kind of food for too long. Because after 30 days with Helias, we were looking each other, and our face was completely more wrinkled. I remember
remember
I
your
had a
hands?
nice smaller than the other one.
Do you guys remember your hands? They were
Yeah, the hands.
so crazy,
Yeah, completely burning.
falling in pieces.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, incredible story. Congratulations. I want to be with you on the next one, but then at the same time, I really don't. So,
No, it's great, man. Living
Yeah.
in the outdoors, it's the best.
no, super cool story. One question was just what brands are supporting you guys. It was a question from the audience. So, Helias is supported by Scott, and who else?
Yeah.
What
Who
other
else?
brands?
Blue Eyes, Scott, Moken, Dolomiti. What else? Samaya, Plume, and maybe I forget somebody. But anyway, you check on my Instagram.
Yeah. And Toma, any brands you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, sure. I want to give a big shout out to Picture Organic Clothing, which is my main sponsor, and then K2 and Addicted, the shop in Lyon, who gave us the tent.
The tent,
Like
best
we
tent.
did the full trip with their tent. It was
What's
great.
the name of the shop?
It's Addicted. It's a shop in Lyon.
Addicted in Lyon.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was great. And then Spark helped me at this time for the trip as well, and Fitwell for the boots. It was great.
Alex, on your side, anyone?
My mother.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, mom. And my girlfriend.
we also had some help from PowerTech, the solar panels. We had some help from Garmin for the GPS watch.
Some from Plume, we said.
Yeah, from Plume, from Cumulus for the sleeping bags. So we didn't have enough. We didn't have any money to fund the trip, but we had some support from brands, to give us some gear.
It was quite heavy. And GoPro, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say GoPro.
Yeah.
And expedition food as well for the freeze-dried food.
Expedition food.
And I think we had deals with the river company for the catalogs.
That was Greg dealing with this.
Greg did with a lot of job. I think Greg didn't finish the trip, but without his preparation and the work he done before the trip, it was not possible for us to finish it. So thanks to Greg for this.
All right, guys. I think like that we call it a night, huh?
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for showing up at the event, at this virtual event. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much.
Maybe one last question. How do
there
you
is
guys
Pierre Urtic.
convince your wives?
Wow.
How do you guys convince your wives?
C'était quoi?
Comment vous faites avec vos meufs?
Good question.
Moi, j'en ai plus. C'est plus
I
simple.
have no really good answer about that. Thomas is the best.
Yeah,
and,
she understands.
And, yeah, that's life.
Yeah,
that's life, huh? All right. Well, thanks so much, you guys. Thanks to you guys at home for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We apologize for the quality, but we'll upload the full HD film so you can rewatch it. And don't forget to follow these guys on Instagram because Mount Logan was just one of many super projects that they've been working on, and I think there's more to come. So yeah, with that, we'll wrap it up this evening, and our plan is to host another episode in a few weeks with a different story, actually in the Middle East. So check back and follow us for that. I think it'll be another exciting story. So yeah, that's it from the movie theater here at Scott HQ. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, we're gonna eat some food now. Yeah,
regardez ça!
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, cool.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Oh là 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 là.
Kudos.
Avec la bière. Alors.
Par contre, tu dois payer ta vie à la note, tu dois payer, Thomas.